into us some animal DNA. And so what will that do? Well, it will help you. You want to be able to hear like eagle, or see like the eagle. It'll increase your eyesight. If you get some of what makes an eagle be able to see so well. You want to be able to have clear complexion. Well, look at how the octopus can change its skin cells and change colors and hide. Well, we'll put some of that in it. So, if you decide today I want to be Caucasian, tomorrow I want to be, African American, and the next day you can instantly change your skin color. Is that possible? Of course it's possible. The octopus does it all the time. But so now we need man to be able to do that. Maybe you want to be blue today. And we're going to increase your sense of smell. We'll give you some dog DNA. And we'll put all that in. But then, wait a minute, if you keep manipulating this DNA, what image were we made in? We were made in the image of God. And so when you do that, you now you're no longer in the image of God, you're in the image of man's manipulation. And that's what the fallen angels, those children that were born to those women that had the babies through the fallen angels, were no longer in the image of who?
God.
Right? And so that's why God is. And so even today, that same process is going on. Right? And you can look it up. You go on the internet, you look up singularity, look up post-human, and look up transhuman. And you'll see it's a very big movement. Right? I stumbled across that by accident because they had a guy that came to my job and he gave a big speech about how he's never going to die. His name is Ray Kurzweil. And he talked to IBM, he talked about how this, and I went and I looked the guy up and I kind of found out he's the leader, he's the one that created Singularity, and now he has a university. It's called Singularity University. And he takes 150 pills a day. And he takes IVs every day because he says he's not going to die, and he's found out ways to manipulate. You've seen these movies where these people take these pills, and this is a movie called Limitless. They take the pill and then all of a sudden they're able to do kind of thing. Well, this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to create that. Anyway.
So he doesn't want to die.
He don't think he's ever going to die. He's going to create immortality through man's wisdom. And he's serious. Now, he's no dummy. He's the one that invented the synthesizer, the electronic synthesizer, the one that I think he gave that to Stevie Wonder way back in the 70s or the 60s. And Stevie Wonder was one of the first artists to start playing with that. He invented that. He invented that when he was in high school. They got an old thing on him on PBS for recording when he was on that one of those old game shows, What I Do or something like that, or I forget what the name of it was.
It's My Life.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and they showed him that he was creating Mozart by using a computer tone. He was creating Mozart music. But anyway, I'm saying all that because the guy is very intelligent. He's no joke. He's no fly-by-night idiot. He's a very famous, very wealthy. He done had many companies. All of the companies that he's created have been extremely successful, and this is his next venture. And he believes he's never going to die. And if you look him up, Ray Kurzweil is his name, and he's part of that movement. But you got to keep that in mind. That's what they're trying to do. We're going to manipulate and we're going to change the structure of man's DNA. All right, so that it's no longer the way it was when God created us. And so then, if you're no longer the way God created you, how do you get redeemed? Because God's going to redeem man. But if you're no longer man, if you're post-man or hybrid man, God didn't die. Jesus didn't die for that. He died for those that were created in the image of God. All right, so we have to be careful with that. So we talked about in this 5th verse, Noah. All right, there was 8 persons, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood on the whole world of ungodly. Verse 6, and turning the cities of who? Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live what? Ungodly. All right. Now, city of Sodom and Gomorrah. These people had very licentious lifestyles. They were very prominently known for their homosexuality. And remember when the angels went down
Right.
to Sodom, and they went there to get Lot out, and the people in the city of Sodom saw the angels in Lot's house, and they went and banged on Lot's door
Trying to break
and
it.
said, "Bring me those two angels that came out, so we may what? We know them. We want to have sex with them." And so, and it got to the point where they were ready to break down the door. And Lot was like, "Well, don't do that. That's wrong." And this is how you know, because Lot was like understanding how bad it is and how awful it is. He says, "Listen, I have daughters, 2 daughters. Let me give you the daughters. If you're going to do wrong, at least do what's natural. Don't do what's unnatural." So Lot could see how bad it was, but yet Lot's answer was still what? Not the right answer. So you see, sometimes when you're trying to fight against the devil and you fight in your own strength, you will do something that's just as bad. Even though Lot's doing it out of just not knowing what to do. But the angels had to touch them and they became what? As blind men. But even before the angels went down there, or to say while the angels were going down there, Abraham had a conversation with God. When he said, "Well, will the God of all creation destroy the city if there be 50 righteous?" And God said, "I won't destroy it if there's 50 righteous in there." He said, "What about if there's 40?" And he went down to 30. He goes, "I wouldn't do it." He said, "Well, I'll speak one more time. What about 20 and 10?" He said, "I won't destroy the city if there's 10." All right. God destroyed the whole world. Was there 10 righteous in the world? There was less than 10. How many was there? 8. Right. So God said, "I will destroy it." And then so he went down there, and then he even when the angels were pulling Lot out, he said, "I got to get you out because I can't destroy the city until you what? Until I get you out. You have to leave." All right. So God is serious. All 3 of these examples are examples of situations. The angels that fell, and they fell and came down and tainted the humans. The humans that were on the earth, all right, those angels, they were put into what? Everlasting damnation and chains of darkness. And then the humans that were involved in it, they were wiped out by the what? By the flood. But then afterward, we see a similar situation where these people were so depraved that when they saw an angel, rather than coming to them and asking them, show us the light, they wanted to do what? They wanted to molest them. And God says, that's the mindset of these people. That's why the city's got to be destroyed. Because they are inviting this angel-human hybrid combination to happen continuously. And when that happens, I have to destroy it because I can't have that spread. Because when I come, I am coming to redeem man. All right. So you can see how Peter is talking about some very serious stuff here. But why is he bringing this stuff out? Because he said, look, you got to know this stuff because I'm about to die. I'm not going to be able to sit around and just share this stuff with you, kind of, openly and just kind of give it to you bit by bit. I got to give it to you all, Watch out for them angels, those hybrid people, and those people that are still in the earth that are trying to interact with angels. So you got all these people that are calling in these spirits, all these soothsayers, all these people that are trying to interact with the demon world. There's people that are still doing it today. You go down some of these different streets and these different cities, and you see the signs up there, these fortune tellers and palm readers and all them people. These people are trying to interact with the spiritual realm. That's no good. That's those types of individuals you need to stay away from. All right, and all that kind of stuff. You got to be careful of that. All right, let's move along. Any questions? This sometimes can be a bit confusion. Any questions on this? All right. So verse 6 says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that afterwards should live ungodly." 7, "And delivered just Lot, all right, vexed with the filthy conversations of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelt among them in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds." So Lot was in there. Now, we remember the story of Lot, right? Remember when Abraham and Lot's servants were fighting over the land, and Abraham said, you know, it's not good for us to fight. And so Abraham said, well, you choose one, you know, which way to go, and we will go the opposite way. And what did Lot do? Lot looked what? Lot looked for the best land he could find. Lot was kind of what? Selfish. He was kind of stingy. Well, wait a minute. They said righteous Lot. But guess what? Lot's just like us. Because you can go to my history and see if my history was written like Lot's history. You can read it. You know, let's go to the book of Wayne. Well, you remember in that second chapter where Wayne did that and that? If God wrote a book and called it the book of Wayne and had it in here, you'd be like, wow, you know what? Wayne was a good guy, but you know what? He also was he was a mess too. Because see, we got who else's life in here? We got David's life. Remember? God put David's life in here. God said David's a man after my own heart. But you go read his life story. You read some of the stuff he did. David was a rascal. But David was also what? A man. He was a human being that loved God. And God covered him with the what? The same thing he covers us with. Same thing with right. That's why Lot, when God talks about Lot now in the New Testament, what does he say? Righteous Lot. Just Lot. All right? With all his stuff. And so that's important to keep in mind. So if Lot can be justified, guess what?
So can we.
That's right. All right. Where do we leave off at? 9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly. You see that? Not the ungodly, but the godly. Not those that are not in God's image, but those that are made in his image. God knows how to deliver them out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. All right? So it says God knows how to do that. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. All right, so now what is he saying here? That God knoweth how to deliver the godly, right? But he said that there are certain people that have no respect for the God-given order. Remember when the Pharisees and the Sadducees were going to trick Jesus with questions? And they said, well, listen, we got a question. We got them locked in here. Because we're going to ask them about paying taxes. And we're going to ask them this. Now, here's the thing. The people hate to pay taxes. Anybody here like paying taxes? You don't enjoy it, right? You're like, I'd rather keep my money. The government just takes a lot. But then